Welcome. We're going to be working, as you can tell, on making a toy lightsaber into an actual lightsaber that could be used in the movie Star Wars, any one of the series of Star Wars movies. So what we always start out with, we want to find an image online. We can find one either by searching for toy lightsabers, or you can find one that we've already picked up along the way, or you can even create your own using one of your digital cameras and even just like a regular old stick. We're going to always open up the original and to start with, and we're looking to make it into a Star Wars type lightsaber. So here's our original, and here's what we're going to create today. Alright, whenever you start in Photoshop, you always want to make a copy of your original. The reason why you make a copy of original is because you don't want to damage your original photo, especially if you're working on something and you get going. And pretty soon you might accidentally save it, and now your original is saved over with some different effects, which doesn't make it look like it's original image. So by making a new copy of it, you can go ahead and make whatever changes you want to it. If you mess up or if you don't like it, you can go ahead and delete that layer. So we're looking at our background layer. I'm going to go ahead and unlock it so we can kind of make some changes to it. To make a copy of your layer, you can always go up to the menu, say Layer, New, Layer via Copy, or you can do Command J or Control J on the PC. After you've done that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go down here to the line tool. Now the line tool is just a graphics tool. We're going to go ahead and use the line tool to make lines up and down the lightsaber. But originally, when it starts out, it's a smaller weight of line. When it starts out at a 3 pixels weight, but we've put it up to 15 because we want to make it the width of the lightsaber. Chose to fill in with white because with white on the inside of the lightsaber, it's a kind of a bright light in the middle that kind of shows that it's a lightsaber. That kind of makes it stand out a little bit by having the bright light in the middle, and it's the easiest one that we can apply the outer glow effect to from the layer style menu. So we're going to choose a fill color of white. The weight will be 15 pixels, and we're going to go ahead and just make our line down to the bottom. Okay. Should fill in most of the area that you have there, and now you have your one shape that's already there. We're going to need to rasterize this one. If we don't, we won't be able to manipulate it and make changes to it. The way you rasterize it on the PC, you would just right click and choose rasterize. On the Mac, we hit Control and click, and we're going to rasterize that layer. Now we're going to be able to manipulate that layer that's already there. A good thing to kind of do is to round off the edge, the very top. We're going to go ahead and just choose our brush tool. When we choose the brush tool, we're going to kind of zoom in a little bit so we kind of see what's going on here a little bit. We want to round it off so it's not so flat, so I'm just going to kind of go over on the edge here, and that should get rid of some of it. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of the lightsaber that's still left on the edge, but that won't affect it too badly. Once I've gone ahead and I've rounded it off, we're going to give it kind of a blur effect, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to add in a filter called Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur is just going to make the pixels that are in there, and they're going to make them spread out a little bit further. So we're going to go blur, filter, blur, and then go to Gaussian blur. And then we're going to choose a 2 pixel radius. And then you'll see the white kind of stand out a little bit more. Okay, and then after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and apply our outer glow. And down here it's either add a layer style under the FX menu, or you can add in that image adjustment under our adjustment layer. So we're going to do here layer style, and we're going to do an outer glow. We're going to choose Samuel L. Jackson's lightsaber, so we're going to choose a purple color lightsaber, so a little darker. And to make it kind of show up, we have to kind of increase the spread of the lightsaber and increase the size of the lightsaber on the outside. You want to be on a normal effect so it actually does show up. Okay, so we should have a lightsaber. Unfortunately, it's a little too much spread, so we're going to kind of lower it a little bit, maybe down to, you can see, as you get bigger or smaller, you don't want it too big because then it would look a little too unrealistic, and the size is going to make it bigger spread on the outside. So we'll spread it out a little bit and then increase the pixel size a little bit so it's right about there. It looks pretty good. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and click OK. We're going to soften it a little bit by adding in another Gaussian blur. So filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur. It's going to be the same radius of 2 pixels, kind of soften it. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in what's called a flatten image. We want to make sure that this image is flat, so it's not standing out above what's currently there with the kid in the image. So again, you can either right click on shape or you can do control, and then we're going to flatten the image on there, and that'll merge the background, the background, the copy, and the shape all into one layer. Okay, last thing to finish it off, we're going to add in what's called an effect called lens flare, and all that does is just flare the area that it's currently on. You can select it. All you have to do is go to filter, render, and lens render. There we go. Lens flare. And then you can see that there's a little X right there. We're going to choose the very bottom, and the bottom's going to show that it's bright around the handle of the lightsaber, which is bright. It's about 85%. And it also, the cool part is that it looks like it's shining, so it's kind of shining in the face of the Jedi that's currently there. Okay, and you can also apply it towards the top if you need to. You can go filter, render, lens flare. You can do it up towards the top if you want. Okay, kind of brighten a little bit. If it's too bright, you can remove the lens flare. But overall, you should have a pretty good lightsaber effect using Photoshop and using just an original picture with a toy lightsaber that's currently on there. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please ask and I will be able to help you out. Thank you.